Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since I have created a video and posted on here, so it feels good to be back in front of the camera, but a little strange, you know, I'm a little out of my element now. But here we are, it's 2023, it's a brand new year, and I've got some big goals, and one of them is to get back into creating content for my YouTube channel. But I thought before I just start posting my regular beauty and fashion content that I say hi to you guys, show my face, kind of give you a life update and tell you why I've been MIA for so long, and yeah, just have like a one-on-one chat with you guys. I'd like to preface this video by saying I am not complaining. I am very, very grateful for everything that I have. I am so lucky to be where I am today and for everything I have in my life. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and my life is incomparable to some situations, so I'm not, you know, I know sometimes this video will be like, oh, the world's smallest violin is playing for Nicole, but that's not what I'm doing here. It's more of like a life update, kind of like a one-on-one girls chat. You know, if I had a glass of wine with a friend and she asked me, what's new with you, what have you been up to, you haven't posted on YouTube in a while, what's going on, this is kind of the conversation I'd have with a friend, and you guys are my friends. So let's rewind to 2020. Now, nothing is going to be in exact order, but I'll start with 2020 and kind of work my way up to today. Okay, so back to 2020. My boyfriend Nick, we've been together for 10 years or more, and we've been living in this house together for 9 years or more. So we're technically married, but he needed surgery on his foot, and he's a carpenter and he's on his feet literally all day long. So to recover from his surgery, he had to take quite a bit of time off work. And at that time, I was working at Spa by JW at the JW Marriott here in Edmonton, and COVID hit. And I was laid off work because literally it's a spa in a hotel, like the worst scenario ever. But I was laid off and Nick was at home recovering from surgery. So just to paint a picture, we're basically at home unemployed at this point. But then the oven in our house broke. We had to pay to have it repaired. We could have bought a new oven, but it was so expensive we decided to just repair the oven we have. And then our dishwasher started leaking, so we bought a new dishwasher. That was fun. Then we decided to replace the shingles on the roof of our house because they were literally rotting. Like, there was moss growing on the shingles. We didn't necessarily have the money to do it, but we had the time. If there's any time to do it, now is the time. So we ended up redoing the shingles. And then I brought my vehicle in, my Volkswagen, in for just routine maintenance, you know, an oil change and things. Based on its age and how many kilometers were on the car, it was due to having the timing chain replaced. And at this time, Volkswagen was going through a huge class action lawsuit against their timing chain, because if the timing chain slips or fails, or whatever the correct terminology is, you literally have to replace the engine. So the mechanic highly recommended that I replaced it as preventative maintenance. So we went ahead and did it. I'll get into that later. But I replaced the timing chain, and while he was in there, he noticed that I had a vacuum pump leak, so we replaced that at the same time. 3 days later, after I got my Volkswagen home, my roof started leaking. Every time it started raining, there was water pouring in through the roof. It was wild. So I had to have the roof fixed. So about now, Nick is back to work and he's working in the downtown area, and his truck was broken into. Some things were stolen from his truck, but more annoyingly, they busted off the handle and the lock on his door, so we had to bring that in for repairs and have that fixed. Then our dog Brooke, she was running through the bushes, as she always does anytime we take her to the dog park or out to the cabin. She was running through the bushes and sliced her chest open. It was very traumatic. The poor thing, she was a champ, but we had to rush her to emergency. There was no major damage or anything. It was more so just getting the stitches in, closing the wound, and allowing that to heal. So we're in about summer of 2021 now, and I needed to get my summer wheels on, but I needed new summer tires so bad, and I also needed new rotors and new brakes. Like, it was long overdue. What Volkswagen wanted to charge me for new tires, brakes, and rotors was insane. So I regrettably took the less expensive route and I went to Midas. Midas literally charged me like a third of what Volkswagen was going to charge me, but Lesson learned, I have had nothing but problems. Till today, there is still issues with the brakes and rotors. They have warrantied out and replaced the brakes and rotors multiple times. There have been multiple journeyman mechanics looking at my vehicle. Nobody can figure out what's wrong with the brakes. Nobody knows what's going on. Now, I know that if I took it into Volkswagen, they could have it fixed, no problem, but they want to charge me an arm and a leg, whereas I already paid Midas for new brakes and rotors. So it's been an ongoing issue. Lots of lessons learned, lots of frustration, lots of stress, lots of back and forth, lots of time wasted. It's been absolute chaos. Never go to Midas. If there's any advice I can give to you guys, do not go to Midas. So now, you know, it's summertime and they're easing restrictions, and we wanted to have a backyard barbecue to have all the friends and family over and just enjoy life. But the biggest problem was our patio furniture. The chairs literally were ripped. Like, if you sat in a chair, your whole bum's gonna go right through and you're gonna hit the ground. So we needed to buy new patio furniture to have company over. And although it wasn't a necessity, it was definitely a necessity for our mental health to be able to have people over to our home. And we all know what it was like during, you know, the restrictions of COVID. So we bought the damn new patio furniture and we had the damn backyard party. And it was so much fun and it was worth it, but it was still money out of pocket, if you are picking up what I'm putting down. So now we're in about October-ish of 2021, and our cat Nugget was rushed to emergency for a urinary tract blockage. He's had this issue a couple times, which is really scary. It's something that we have, you know, discussed with our vet. He, this one time, had an actual blockage and was having organ failure and was very, very close to dying. It was very, very scary. So he was rushed to emergency. He was at the vet for a couple of days, and a couple $1,000s later, we got him home and all is well. He hasn't had any issues since, thank goodness. You know, we've got him on special urinary food. All has been well, but it has been expensive. And then winter rolls around and our furnace breaks. So we had to have a new furnace installed. And seriously, like, what curse are we under? Like, it's like that song, Hard on Me by Kathleen Edwards. The very first line in that song is, "Everything in this house breaks." I'm like, yes, this is my song. I can relate to this. So yeah, and it doesn't stop there. Like, the windows in our house are gonna have to be replaced soon. They're double pane windows, and you can see the seal is broken. Like, the in between the double panes, you can see like moisture building up. So we're gonna need new windows. Our fridge is falling apart. Like, the door is literally not closing properly, and the light inside the fridge is glitching out. So the fridge is falling apart. Our microwave, we actually just replaced it this week. It was a necessity. Like, we had to replace the microwave. It was literally falling apart. Every time you would open up the door, pieces of plastic would fall out. You can see there was no seal. Basically, every time we used the microwave, we were probably exposed to microwave energy. It was giving me anxiety. Anyways, we took the plunge and finally replaced the microwave this week. My sister even asked me, like, what kind of appliance curse are you under? I don't know. So at this point now, my Volkswagen has continued to fall apart, has continued to cause me problems, and again, I can't afford to pay Volkswagen to replace anything. So I have an acquaintance of mine who is a mechanic, and he does work through the garage in his home on his spare time. You think I would have learnt my lesson with taking the cheap way out with Midas? Well, this acquaintance of mine, he had replaced the calipers because he thought he could solve the brake issues I was having that Midas caused. So we replaced the brake calipers. We did control arms and bushings, stabilizer bar joints and bushings, alternator belt. I think there's some other things, but basically he replaced a plethora of things, which was great, until everything he had done had to be replaced again. It's like everything he had done was falling apart, so I had to replace it twice. So saving a few bucks initially actually cost me more in the end because I replaced everything twice. It's painful to talk about it. The Volkswagen, literally, I think that has caused the curse in my life. Ever since that vehicle came into my life, it has been nothing but issues. When you continue to throw money at a vehicle and you continue to try and repair it, you get in so deep that you can't back out of it at that point. You're like, okay, I've already put so much money into this now, I just got to keep going. And there was no way of me getting a new vehicle. Like, I should have bought a new vehicle years ago. It just wasn't possible. It wasn't a financial ability for me. It just wasn't in my future. So I just kept throwing money at this car and it just kept falling apart. The straw that broke the camel's back was a few weeks ago when the door stopped opening. My driver door handle actually wouldn't open the door. I could open it from the inside of the vehicle, which was so annoying, but I couldn't open it from the outside. And so I literally was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. And I thought I would, you know, finally just take the plunge on buying a new vehicle. But I thought if I bring it in to trade it in for a new vehicle, they're gonna have to be able to open the door. So I brought it to Volkswagen and they said it was gonna cost me over $2,000 to have it fixed. I was like, you know what, just put it all back together and give me the keys and let's light this thing on fire. Basically, at this point, I know I need to get a new vehicle. Even though I've invested so much money into it at this point, I have to get a new vehicle. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but I gotta make it happen. But then Nick and Brooke went hunting and Brooke broke her tooth. We don't know how it happened. We think that she hit a fence or something, but she basically broke a tooth in half that would have to be surgically removed. So we eventually brought her in for surgery, had a tooth extraction done, and she's healed really, really well, but that just was another expense on top of everything else. And then, now this is a blessing, but it has been an expensive blessing. Nick went out to his cabin and he could hear a meowing underneath the patio, and he was sending me pictures of this starving little kitty. And we've already got 2 cats and a dog, and he's like, what do we do? I'm like, well, obviously bring this cat home. Like, without a doubt, we'll bring it home, we'll figure it out, we'll try and find it a new home or its owners or whatever. But when he brought this cat home, it was love at first sight, and I'm like, we're keeping her. We are keeping this cat. Of course, I did my research and I was trying to find if someone reported her missing or whatever, and I couldn't find anything online. She wasn't microchipped or tagged or anything, so she is now our cat. We named her Missy. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath, my love. So this is Missy. She looks like a full-grown cat now, but she's still technically a kitten. We've got about 3 months left before we switch her to adult food. And we love her so much, and she's just fit right into our family. So we have 3 cats now and a dog, but it's been a bit pricey, you know. When we brought her home, we brought her to the vet. She did have ear mites, so we had to get treatment for that. We had to wait for her to get old enough for her to be spayed, all of her vaccines and stuff like that. So it's been pricey, but we love her so much. And she is seriously Dennis the Menace. If she was reincarnated into a human, she would be Dennis the Menace. Hey, come here, you. Anyways, in short, Nick and I have just been stuck in a series of unfortunate events, and very expensive unfortunate events. But amongst all of those things, my Instagram account got deleted. And I say, if you go to my new Instagram account, Nicole's Life Be Like 2.0, you should follow me there. But you'll see in the bio I put that my Instagram account was hacked. And I say hacked because that's the simplest way of explaining what happened, I guess. So here's what I think actually happened. You know those accounts that will constantly tag you in posts and in the comment section, and they'll DM you, and they're just constantly tagging you in a million places to gain more followers, grow your account, learn how to go viral, all that crap, and it's such a scam. These accounts were tagging me multiple times a day for months. So it got to the point where I was fed up. And normally I would just go to these comments and remove myself, report as spam, delete, ignore, block, you know, I did everything I could. But it got to the point where I was so irritated by this that I actually replied to one of the comments and I said, stop tagging me in this bullshit. and within half an hour, my Instagram account was deleted. You better believe I tried everything I possibly could to get my account back. You know, I reported a dispute with Instagram. I tried calling them. Big mistake. Nobody answers the phone at Instagram. It's embarrassing to admit that. But anyways, I tried emailing them, filing a dispute. I went online. I did tons of research to see like other people's experience that they've lost their account and how they got it back. I tried everything you could possibly think of. But amongst all of my research, I found out that there's such a thing as a report bot. So it's basically a computer that if you piss off the wrong person, they can put your Instagram handle into this computer, into this report bot, and it will report your account and every single post on your account for every single reason it could possibly be reported for to Instagram. And then Instagram, there's not actually a person behind there going, oh, look at this account has all these red flags, let's shut them down. It's literally a computer that just says, oh, Nicole's Life Be Like, her account has all these red flags, let's shut it down, and they just delete it. So I think that's what happened. I think those people that continued to tag me, I pissed off the wrong person, and they put my Instagram handle in a report bot. My account got reported for every possible reason you could think of, and my account got deleted. And the reason why I believe that's what happened is because when Instagram emailed me and said your account has been deleted for violating our community guidelines, I knew that was a crock of crap, because I do not do anything to violate the community guidelines. I don't do anything illegal. I don't even talk about anything that's controversial. I'm not bullying anybody. I'm not buying followers. I'm not using other people's content and claiming it to be my own. I don't do anything to violate their community guidelines. So to be honest, when it was first deleted, I was pretty confident that I was going to get my account back because I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. But Instagram's customer service doesn't exist. Like, there just isn't. And I can understand. I mean, there's billions of users on Instagram, and if they had to constantly manage people's concerns and emails, it would be impossible to maintain and manage that. So like, I understand there needs to be more help for situations like that. Like, how can you just delete my account and say that I would have much rather have actually violated the community guidelines and have my account deleted for that reason, then it's something I could live with. But I'm basically stuck in the unknown. I'm stuck in this limbo of not knowing what actually happened, why it happened, and how to prevent it from happening again in the future. So it's pretty frustrating. There's nothing I can do. I tried everything I could. There is kind of a silver lining to me creating a new Instagram account. So, I mean, if you want to like try and look at the positive, like digging for the positive thoughts, but my old Instagram account, my demographics were really weird. A lot of my followers were men, which I thought was strange. I mean, there are a lot of creeps out there, but I mean, I'm sharing beauty and fashion content. Why would these men be following me? So I feel like with my new account, I can kind of reinvent myself, niche down, focus more on fashion and beauty. I was posting a lot of kind of weird random stuff, so I feel like I can be a little more hyper focused with my new account now. So I did create Nicole's Life Be Like 2.0, and I started with posting some of my old content, some of my favorite pieces from my old account, and I kind of stopped there, and I didn't start creating new content because, well, a couple of reasons. I was going through a lot of personal stuff and I just wasn't in the right headspace. I also started hustling and making some money to pay off my debt, so I was super busy. I still am super busy, hustling, working, trying to make that money. But also I've gained a ton of weight and I haven't really been feeling overconfident. I haven't been fitting into any of my clothes, which doesn't help when you want to create fashion content. I hold a lot of weight in my face, so I completely lost my jawline basically. My skin has been horrendous. It's probably stress related, but my acne has been so bad. I've been growing my hair out and I haven't been loving it, to be honest. So overall, I just haven't been feeling very confident in myself. Not enough to be filming a bunch of content and pushing my face online. You know, I'm not in the right headspace, so I just had to take a step back, take a hiatus from social media so that I can get myself in order. And as far as like where I am today, so I have started counting my calories. I started counting in November, and as of today, I stood on the scale this morning and I have lost 8 pounds. I still got like, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 more pounds to go to get to the weight I want to be. But yeah, I've made pretty good progress, so I'm feeling a little more confident in myself. My clothes are starting to fit me better, and you know, I can get back to my normal size. That was another struggle I was having when I was ordering clothes online. I didn't know what size I was anymore. It was a struggle. So yeah, getting my weight under control, getting healthy, getting back on track. As far as my hair goes, I think I'm gonna chop it off again in the spring. I haven't been loving it. My last hair appointment, we did add all this texture in the front because I thought, you know what, if I end up hating it, I'm just going to chop it off anyway, so why not play around with it while it's long? But yeah, I haven't been loving it. So yeah, to build my confidence, I'll probably just chop it off in the spring. And then the next big change, I bought a new car. It wasn't easy, believe me, it was not easy. I had to pull some serious strings to make that happen, but I finally got rid of the Volkswagen curse, and I got myself a 2020 Hyundai Kona. It is not my dream car by any means, but wow, what a luxury to have warranty, to have roadside assistance, and peace of mind that every time I get behind that wheel and I start that car, I'm not worried about what's gonna break now, you know, am I gonna have money to even drive this thing today? It's just such a peace of mind. Even though I now do have a bi-weekly car payment, not ideal, but the amount of money I was throwing into my Volkswagen was technically a car payment anyways. So I don't think anything really changes financially there. I just have less stress, more relief, and it is so nice to have a new car. I feel like that is one of the biggest weights that has been lifted off my shoulders, so that I can now put that behind me and focus more on the future, just getting things back on track. And I'm looking so forward to it. I have such a more positive mindset, and it's in my gut. I feel it this year, you guys. I am so happy that you guys are here, and you know, if you're a subscriber of my channel and you've been here since day one, thank you so much. I like opening up with you guys and kind of sharing what's going on behind the scenes, because I feel like this is why it's so important to be kind, because you just don't know what people are going through. People show up online, people show up to work with a smile on their face because you have to put your best face forward, but you do not know what people are actually going through in their personal life. So just be kind to people in person, online. But anyways, I digress. 2023, I've got big goals for the year, and I'm going to, you know, continue counting my calories to lose that weight. I'm going to continue working full-time to pay off some debt, and on my days off, I'm going to be squeezing in the time to create content on YouTube, Instagram, and so on. It's going to be hard, but I'm definitely in a better mindset for it, and I'm looking forward to it, and you know, just seeing more of you guys, and I appreciate you so much for being here. If you want to support me along my journey, something as simple as liking a video or commenting goes a long way. Even if it's just a thumbs up or a smiley face emoji, it doesn't have to be an elaborate comment, but liking and commenting really triggers the algorithm that, you know, people are engaging in the content and people are enjoying it and so on. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for being here. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. It's so nice to be back and to chat with you guys. And I want to know what you guys have been up to. If you're comfortable sharing it in the comments, let me know. If you've been on any bad luck streaks, or if you have any huge goals you're going to chase after in 2023, let me know in the comments, and I would be happy to chat with you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao!